Hi everyone, I'm Jose and this is On Tour Exploring in the University of Syracuse, ready to experience the Salt City. Throughout this tour, we'll go to the downtown of Syracuse. We'll dive into its history by following the path of the Erie Canal and learning more about the waters of upstate. Then we'll have a blast at the Great New York State Fair, the oldest and largest fair in the country. So let's go on tour to the great city of Syracuse, New York.
The Empire State of New York, the state where I was raised and quite possibly one of the most famous places in America. As we journeyed to central New York, I decided to make a stop at the Visitor Center. The beautiful Southern Tier Visitor Center. It provides all the tools needed for our journey to the Syracuse area. New York State has such a distinctiveness to it. The images on the wall touch upon only a small fraction of the legend. One of the original 13 colonies, New York is classic, and a great way to experience that package is taking a trip to central New York.
Welcome to the great city of Syracuse, one of the many cities in New York State along the path of the Erie Canal. Syracuse became famous for being the country's provider of salt. But within Syracuse lies some of New York State's best excursions, like the Great Fair, the biggest and oldest fair in the country, the New York State Fair. Also, Syracuse has some of the most unique natural surroundings that led to the name of Salt City.
Let's begin the tour right in the heart of Syracuse, the downtown, with our first stop being the Everson Museum. The Everson was the first museum to dedicate itself to American art. Starting in 1911, it focused on artists of this great country. The museum contains works from Jackson Pollock and even Gilbert Stuart, famous for painting the iconic portrait of George Washington. As we go further into the downtown, we stop by Hanover Square, where the early morning walkers begin the day with their pets. When Syracuse was a village, its water and well system was located in the Hanover Square. Hanover District contains some of Syracuse's oldest and most historic buildings, bringing back the nostalgia of when Hanover Square was the first commercial district of the city. But some streets up from Hanover is the famous Clinton Square, the original town center, which is home to the ageless Soldiers and Sailors Monument, constructed in 1910 in honor of the Civil War veterans of the era.
The downtown of Syracuse, it's a beautiful metropolis powered by the Erie Canal's attraction. Clinton Square was the place where the community would gather, and with the inclusion of the canal, became the business and training center for the city.
Clinton Square has been the city's focal point for over 100 years, where the community has come to celebrate all types of events. Clinton Square became the hub of central New York as the Erie Canal expanded its trails. And in the square, we also have the Jerry Rescue Monument. William Jerry Henry, an escaped slave from Missouri, became the symbol of defiance to the Fugitive Slave Act when a mob of citizens stormed the police station that held Jerry captive, set him free, and helped him escape to Canada. It sent a message to the nation of a city who strongly believed in anti-slavery. Downtown Syracuse has one of the most spectacular buildings I've ever come across, the Niagara Mohawk Building, the perfect icon to display the age of electricity. A building that looks like it came from the silent film Metropolis.
A 1930s classic. Beautiful condition. They don't make them like this anymore. This is the Onondaga Lake, a large body of water that became the meeting point for the Seneca, Cayuga, Onondaga, Oneida, and Mohawk Native Americans. This was a place where they met to establish peace for their tribes.
The Onondaga Lake, a lake that's 4.5 miles long, attracting European settlers after hearing of the mysterious salt springs. Onondaga is a freshwater lake that contained salt deposits. With this discovery, infrastructure quickly developed in this area, kicking off the industrial era of Syracuse. Peeking through the viewfinder, I can scope out the life on the lake. Boats parked at the dock, slowly floating to the lake's calm waters. And the lake park brings a cool breeze filled with recreational activities.
It's a hot summer day. I mean, don't judge me. Nothing better than a fruit smoothie. Salt was a staple to Syracuse's industrial growth. Salt springs along the Onondaga Lake led to residents creating methods to process the coarse and fine salt. It expanded Syracuse's reach from New York to the rest of the country.
The Salt Museum, right at the edge of the lake, gives us a brief tour of the Syracuse salt industry. The town of Salina made up most of the area around the lake. Salina, meaning salt in Latin, was reduced to a smaller town and became a suburb of the charted city of Syracuse.
The Erie Canal Museum is the only remaining waylock building in America. It collects and preserves the items used to build the canal.
Rochester and Syracuse are the middle cities of the canal, with Albany County being the starting point and Buffalo being the point of exit. The Erie Canal Museum began in 1962 in a building that dates back to the 1800s, the Waylock Building. It was used as a scale to weigh canal boats and charge a toll per their weight. In its golden age, the Erie Canal ran through the center of Syracuse, right past Clinton Square. The canal was a big factor in expanding the salt business from the Onondaga Lake to the rest of America, a vital lifeline to these cities within upstate New York. Syracuse University, the pioneer in American education, the Big Orange, making history for all other schools to follow in its footsteps. This story starts with Ernie Davis, the first African-American player to earn a Heisman Trophy. Davis, a fantastic player, became a legend alongside Jim Brown. Syracuse University is home to the largest dome stadium in the northeastern part of the United States, the Carrier Dome. It seats close to 50,000 people and can be called home to the Orange football, basketball, and lacrosse teams, with Syracuse's lacrosse team taking top spot of most NCAA championships. Syracuse is a world-class university, being the first to offer a Bachelor's of Fine Arts degree, the first school to adopt an official color, and opening the doors to World War II veterans using benefits from the GI Bill. I walk in the shadows of a giant, amazed at the history that's taken place at this great school, making it a standout achievement for the area of Syracuse. And what makes it more unique is the long list of celebrities who've attended the university, like President Joe Biden, who graduated from College of Law, or TV icon Dick Clark, the familiar face to all of our rockin' New Year's. Syracuse has many great reasons why it falls within the 10% of the best schools in the nation. Outside of the university is a popular hangout street when the games are over and you just want to spend time with friends, Marshall Street. home to the vintage Manny's storefront, where you can get all kinds of university memorabilia. Let's make our way to the zoo. Open the doors to spend an afternoon with family and wind down from our giant adventure. The Rosamond Gifford Zoo contains over 700 animals to bring fascination and delight. I find myself letting my inner youth explore, having fun, as much fun as the kids visiting the zoo. And the animals that always amaze me are the elephants. Simply breathtaking creatures. Syracuse has the largest mall in New York State, the Destiny Mall. Right at the entrance, we're greeted with an I Love New York sign and a map of central New York with a large focus on the Erie Canal Trail and Onondaga Lake. To break down the sheer size of the mall, you have to look at its attractions. The mall has a go-kart facility on its second floor where you step in and you feel like you're in a real racetrack. And who knows, you might just come in first place. Destiny Mall also contains a classic merry-go-round. This merry-go-round has been to Kentucky, Massachusetts, and even Erie, Pennsylvania, before settling at the Long Branch Amusement Park in Onondaga Lake, and finally, Destiny Mall. What better way to take a break from the tour than exploring local amusement? The natural side of Syracuse, the Green Lakes of Onondaga County, located in Manlius, New York. I walked down these steps as slow as possible to take in the fantastic view of the Green Lake.
To get away from the city, off the beaten path, the area of Syracuse has some of the most unique recreational places, like the Green State Lake, an area where the waters don't intermix and cause it to become green.
Green Lake is a meromictic lake, one of only a handful in the United States. It has 3 layers of water, beginning with the cold and dense bottom and the shallower and warmer waters. This breakdown makes it a peaceful, scenic lake to observe, and the sediments on the way to the bottom never decay. The state park is full of local residents, taking advantage of the summer. I make my way to the dock to observe kayakers and people on rowboats, thinking of the amazing vista in paddling on the lake. And just like that, we head into the lake, full of curiosity, enjoyment, and excitement of getting a closer look at the green waters. The state park is a treasure within upstate New York, where it competes with many of New York's other Great Lakes. It stands on its own, with a unique color, distinctive buildup, and simply a great place to get away from the busier downtown of Syracuse. let's call it a night on the State Park campgrounds.
Syracuse is home to the Great New York State Fair, one of the oldest and largest fairs in the country. The fair kicks off the final days of summer for the residents of New York.
Welcome to the excitement, the extravaganza that is the New York State Fair, where it feels great to be a New Yorker. The fair has rides, animals, music, and food, making it a blast for the state and especially for the area of Syracuse. The animal rides are fun and exhilarating, transporting you to foreign lands, and Ferris wheels that can be seen from miles away. Or laughter that echoes all the way to the nearby interstates. What's not to love about this chaotic environment? A parting gift to the summer season. What I enjoy most about the fair is the great food, and no matter how much I indulge, there's always room for more. The New York State Fair began as the Agricultural Society, where farmers would meet to promote agricultural improvements. By 1841, the United States had its first state fair. From then on, it became a staple of upstate New York. So let's enjoy the evening and get to the concerts. With one of my favorite musicians performing, it makes this excursion the icing on the cake.
Syracuse, New York. It has everything you'd expect from a great city. Outdoors, beautiful skyscrapers, a bustling downtown, a historic university, and a fantastic fair. Truly a New York pioneer. This is Jose for On Tour. If you like what you've seen today, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and share. If you'd like to know more about the places I've been to, please see the links below. Until next time.